So if you have good speakers and good headphones this week, you'll be able to hear the rain and thunder that's going on in the background. Welcome to Shawnee Union. This week is focus number 3, and just to start off with, recently hit 3,000 subscribers, so many thanks to everyone who watches this channel, help support it, and as a token of my appreciation, I'm doing a giveaway at the end of this video, putting up some items. If you want the items, please put a comment down in the comment section, and then when it's chosen or when I pick the person, I'll just say picked, and then I'll get a hold of you, talk about shipping and where you live and things like that, so we can figure that out. But just trying to get rid of some stuff, but also just want to say thanks to everyone for helping me get to 3,000. And then one thing on that, I think I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for like 6 years, but whatever you do in terms of photography or in terms of YouTube, do something that you really enjoy, and that you're not doing it for views, you're not doing it for viewers, but you're doing it because you really like it. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing it for those reasons, you're doing it for other reasons, it doesn't make much sense. So make sure whatever you're doing because you enjoy it, and you really like to do it. Because, you know, this is a hobby for me, and luckily I make, you know, some money on the side from this, but I really just do enjoy cameras and doing these type of videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I just want to say greatly appreciate it. So let's talk about books I've been reading. I've been really into this guy named Henry Carroll, who's been doing this series of books called Read This If You Want to Take Great Photographs. And then it's usually of things. There's of people, there's of places, and then there's just photographs. I have the of people one. Highly recommend this one. They're pretty cheap. They're like 15 bucks a pop. And he came out with a new one that's kind of pretty funny, but it's Read This If You Want to Be Instagram Famous. And this book is 50% marketing and 50% photography. So, but the way I have one big takeaway from this book is to pick a topic or pick something you're into and just get really specific. So on my Instagram, I take just a bunch of random pictures of a bunch of random stuff, and they kind of are way against that. If people look at your page, they should be able to know what they get, and they should be able to quickly identify your work. So in terms of just, that's a good marketing tip. So in terms of YouTube and in terms of Instagram, in terms of getting your photos out there and being, you know, recognized for something, focusing down on one topic and then going really deep into it is a pretty good idea. That's kind of the takeaway of this book. It's really good. It's 15 bucks, brand new, or just recently released, and I highly recommend this guy. The second book I picked up was from Japan, and it's Rinko Kawauchi Utante. This is an amazing book for me. I saw it on a Have a Nice Book where they flip through the book, but I really wanted a copy of it. And I'm not super into this type of photography, but I really liked her work, which is kind of just showing basic still lifes around her. So here's a cracked watermelon, and then here is a doll or statue with a cracked head. And so she has a lot of these thematic things. So here's like cracks. The book really clicked for me on this one, where it's a construction site and then also a door, and I was trying to think like, what's the connection there? Why put a construction site next to a door with a peephole? But then you think about the noises you hear in these situations. Here you're hearing things knocked around, banged around, and then here, if you're looking through a peephole of a door, you're probably hearing someone knock through the door. So a lot of cool themes like that. There's visual themes, there's more emotional themes in here, but a really great book on editing, great photography, but altogether just an amazing book. So highly recommend Rinko Kawauchi Utante. Next is a really gigantic book, Irving Penn Centennial. So Irving Penn right now is having an exhibit at the Met in New York. Can't afford tickets, but I can't afford this book. It's like $35 to $30 on Amazon. I mean, I don't know if it's gone up in price, but it's heavily discounted right now. And it's a gigantic book. So I mainly picked this up because I was really into his portrait work. So I was picking out some pictures to do self-portraits, and I picked out a bunch of pictures that were pretty cool black and white ones. And they actually all ended up being Irving Penn. So he's kind of a master with that. He uses a big 8x10 camera. Gets really good expressions and then just really good geometry in the images. Definitely highly recommend this book, Irving Penn Centennial. And it's a good deal right now too if you can get it. Next is a gear purchase I recently made. While reading this book, one of the Instagram photographers recommended an app called Screw It. And I was like, what is this about? But it's about correcting for parallax error. So anytime you take a camera out and you tilt it up or down, you get a little bit of parallax error where the building looks like buildings and things are really tall, look like they're falling away or they're falling a little bit forward you. So you can use the app Screw It to fix that. And so I downloaded the app for $2 and then played around with it. Had a bunch of photos I fixed and corrected for that error. And I was like, man, maybe I should think about getting a tilt lens. So went out and purchased a tilt lens, kind of on an impulse buy, but purchased the Nikon 35mm f2.8. So normally tilt lenses are like really expensive, like $400 or $500. This one's going for like $150, $160 right now. I'm not sure what's up with it. I think maybe people don't like the tilt thing, or it's very specific, but it's a really cool effect. So here's how it works. I'll do a whole video on this, but you can use it and twist this little knob and it'll go up. So this corrects that parallax there. So kind of, I hope hope it's not a passing fad, but I really want to try this out more. And I'll probably be using this on a 35mm film camera, because when you use it on a digital camera that's not full frame, you have a pretty bad crop sensor. You have a pretty bad crop 1.6, and it makes it so it's not so wide. So I will be using it on a Nikon FM and hopefully really like it. So far, really enjoy it. Lastly, what about upcoming videos? I'm going to be doing one on this guy and the tilt function, and then I will be doing one on shift. So I have a shift adapter that I haven't used much, but it's a pretty cool effect. Some people may be into it. And then that rangefinder video on rangefinders at every single price, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, and 200 up. You can get a rangefinder, a great rangefinder in all those price ranges. So a lot of people think rangefinders are super expensive and prohibitive, but I think you can get one for like 30, 40 bucks. A pretty great one. Lastly, we'll talk about comparing lenses. I'm going to be comparing the 50mm Summicron DR, which I recently picked up from Use Photo Pro, with the 50mm Japanese Summicron, or the Canon 50mm 1.8 for their Canon rangefinder series. Surprisingly really similar, and I was more similar than they are different. And I think a lot of people getting into rangefinders think they're really expensive and really prohibitively expensive, but you can get some really good lenses for some really cheap prices. So if you have a rangefinder and you want to get some great lenses, I'll be doing a video on that as well. So hope you guys like that video. Again, check the end of the video for the giveaways, and I will be back again next week. See you guys. Hopefully I'm not too sweaty. Well, and the dance. Oh, it's 16 takes.